I mean, he's quiet, he's unassuming, David, but for 20 minutes, the gum shield comes in and he has an impact on this game, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was absolutely fantastic when he came on. I mean, I saw a couple of people criticising for the foul he gives away on the edge of the box, but I actually think that was a foul the other way. I think he's very unlucky in that situation. And if he rightly gets the foul in that one, then you just can't take away from the fact it was just a brilliant performance when he comes on. I mean, he only makes 5 passes, but he only attempts 5 passes as well. So he keeps the ball every time he gets it. He's getting in there, winning the ball, winning his duels. He wins fouls, some couple of key fouls that he does win in big moments. And just the intelligence to get across his man and always be there in the right spot at the right time. I mean, it's telling to me that the Wolves had 10 shots in the second half and only one of those comes after Wataru Endo comes onto the pitch. And in fact, that one shot that they do have while he's on the pitch is from outside the box. So they're just trying pot shots, really. So that for me kind of says everything about the impact he had on the game, and he really did solidify Liverpool. And it was as much as he was brilliant as well, I want to credit the manager for seeing that and thinking that was a really smart move to stick him in there and appreciating his qualities. And I do wonder if he just kind of has that niggling thing in the back of his mind that he would have been pretty useful at Goodison Park, because I think he would have. So it's a shame he didn't come on in that game, but he was just absolutely massively important to what Liverpool did in the end, and got them over the line.
Yeah, played a huge part, no two ways about it. And the other player who actually came on at half time, because it was understandable with the risk that Konate might pick up a second yellow the way it was going, Jarell Quansah, second half. He also has a big impact, and you can't take away from that moment where Robertson drops too deep and he just gets across with the block. He made some big decisions in the second half, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely superb. Again, a kind of a player I don't understand why there's been this rush to write him off. So many people don't seemingly want to give him any minutes and want to get him out the side as soon as possible and want to bring in a centre-half who will eat up all his minutes. I just don't understand that. I mean, there probably will be change at centre-half for Liverpool this summer because Joe Gomez will leave. And if you can get someone who is a little bit more robust, picks up fewer injuries, that would be a massive help for Liverpool. But I don't understand the idea that you bring in 5 so that Jarell Quansah never takes to the pitch, because I think he's a phenomenal talent. And he had a little bit of a rough spot in this season, as the manager alluded to post-match, but he's come roaring out of that, and he's learned, as all good young players do. And I thought when he came on yesterday, he was phenomenal. I mean, he doesn't give the ball away once, does he? 27 out of 27 passes, is it? A couple of absolutely crucial interceptions. I mean, not just that one where the ball's getting crossed in low and he gets there brilliantly, but there's another one where the ball's going in behind and he just gets a long leg out to stop it. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and that was such a tough environment for him to come into as well. It's not like he's replacing Ibrahim Konate with Liverpool 4-0 up and cruising for the rest of the game, because they were up against it in that second half. So absolutely fantastic to see him doing well again, and great to see the manager praising him as well, because that to me shows that he is going to be part of his plans again going forward next season, and we're going to continue seeing that growth, because I think there's a fantastic young player there.
It's a funny one, and even Muller's 27 there saying we should have got a centre back in January. I tweeted after this game, like, the reaction on Jarell Quansah across the board needs to stop. When he plays a brilliant game, he's not prime Maldini. When he does make a few mistakes so it doesn't go perfect, that doesn't mean he's finished, or the other things that people say. Is it standard that centre half is going to have ups and downs as he's still learning the game? And he's also in that position where if you do make a mistake, like keeper, it just tends to get punished, or it'll lead to a chance, won't it? There almost seems an over-analysis a bit on Quansah at the moment.
Yeah, I think what annoys me about it, or frustrates me, is really that there's sort of this desperation to blame him for everything as well, and I hate to see people saying that he's played poorly when I don't think he has. For example, he was part of that Plymouth game, wasn't he, where Liverpool in general were absolutely dreadful. But I thought Quansah had a good game, and yet for some reason I have to read about him on social media being terrible and this, that, and the other. And I just think people, watch the game through your eyes. Don't watch it through your kind of preconceived notions about who you've been told is good or not, or who may have a good rating on FIFA or whatever. Maybe that's it. Maybe he doesn't stack up particularly high on computer games or whatever, because it's definitely not being judged by what he's actually doing. Because I think, as the manager said himself, that, in recent kind of weeks, we've seen a real improvement for him. And I thought Plymouth, he was very good. I thought the Lille game when he came in, he was outstanding in that as well. And yesterday when he came on, he did really well again. So, I think he's a massive young player, and I just think he's got a big future, and I think the manager sees that as well. And just to the comments as well about the centre-half signing, if we'd signed someone in January there at centre-half, where to sit on the bench, because that's what they would have been doing yesterday. Quansah would have been ahead of them in the pecking order, and if not, if they would have been ahead of Quansah in the pecking order, then we're never seeing Quansah again, and you might as well sell him, because he's not going to want to never play any minutes. So this idea that Liverpool are going to carry 5 centre halves, unless it's someone who's extremely flexible and they don't sign a fullback or something like that, I just can't see it happening in a million years. So I think people need to get used to the idea that Liverpool are going to carry 4, because they only use 2 at a time. Quansah is going to be one of those, because he's a very, very good young player. And I think any January signing in defence would still be just sat on the bench now watching the games.
Yeah, we talked about it. I would love, as you know, Hato from Ajax, but even if we'd signed him in January, it probably would have still been best in his development to do a Naby Keita one and stay at Ajax, get game time, rather than just sit on the bench there.
Yeah.
And the comments are coming in as well.
Sorry, just to come in on that. I don't think that anyone, Jarell Hato as well, there's no way he is currently better than Jarell Quansah at the moment. If he got thrown into this league now, he would have to have a serious kind of adaptation process and really get used to what it was all about. And so, you've got to bear that in mind as well. I think people think because these are the glamorous new signings that they'll come in and they'll instantly be there and at the level. Lenny Yoro's an excellent young player, but you look at, he's been thrown in at Manchester United and found it really, really difficult. So, and he's another one who everybody on Twitter would have signed over the summer and would have pushed ahead of Jarell Quansah in the pecking order and pushed him down, not giving him any minutes. And has he looked any better than Quansah in the Premier League? I would say absolutely not, to be honest. No. So, I think there should be kind of a better understanding of what Quansah's level is, and the Liverpool have got real talent on their hands. Yeah,
and LFC SG there saying the criticism he gets is ridiculous. Yeah, what was Van Dijk doing 21 years of age? He needs years to reach his peak. Yeah, you've got to give him some leeway on that. I know it is a title race, but if he comes in, you've got to back him in that regard. And Sai Gopal there saying, I think Slot should trust Endo more to see out games. Reckon we could have 4 more points, as you said, than he'd been brought off at Everton at Newcastle. To almost finish this game, is the big thing we sort of took from yesterday that actually, when we talk about the second string, if you want, like the Endo, the Quansahs, even the Conor Bradley who comes on and does quite well from Trent, even if they don't necessarily start every game, they can still have, we've got a good squad, haven't they? Can still have an impact at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, again, kind of people have pushed back on the idea that, I would consistently say Liverpool have got the strongest squad in the Premier League. And that doesn't mean that you can leave your entire first team at home and go to Plymouth and win. It doesn't necessarily mean that. What it means is that you've got the likes of Endo to come in and look really, really good, and Jarell Quansah to come in when you're worrying about Canate being on the second yellow and play well, and Conor Bradley can come in for Trent Alexander-Arnold and completely lock down his flank. Liverpool have got unbelievable strength and depth, really, and I think again, that was a game that really showed it yesterday. And although these players, a lot of them, they're going to miss out on a few starts, aren't they now, because there isn't that FA Cup involvement in. Obviously, the League Cup now is only 1 game left, so they're going to struggle for minutes. But if they can come on and play a role in the latter parts of games, they can give people rests. We can see a little bit more of Chiesa even to come in for a Salah. Then that's all massively helpful. And I thought you was really underlined yesterday how strong Liverpool's squad is.